So hey guys, and welcome back to a new video that we're gonna do. Basically, we're gonna be going through some of the best teams that you can use on career mode, that you want to start, any kind of thing. Gonna be giving you some stats about what's going on with them and why they're good to use. But yeah, if you like this, then I can do it I can do it in other FIFAs, or I can just do it with maybe player career or something. But yeah, hope you do enjoy, subscribe, and thanks for watching. The first club we're going to go to is Bournemouth here. The reason why they are quite good is because they've got a 34 million transfer budget, which for a club at Bournemouth's level is quite good actually. And that gets boosted with the wages boost that to 36 mil altogether. So I think so. But yeah, so that's a good team. And a couple of stats here. We've got Ake going. So he's currently 80 rated, but you can get him to 84. Brooks you can get from 77 to 85, and Cook you can get from 77 to 84. They're the best growing players that you can get. Plus, you can see here all the board expectations are pretty low, so you can just kind of have a bit more freedom, a bit more fun with what you're doing. Plus, they've got their own ground if you care about that. But yeah, let's go on to the next team, which is also in the Prem. I'll try and do 3 of each league. But yeah, now we've got Crystal Palace here. They've got a 32 million transfer budget, which is a bit lower but still decent. Their board expectations still aren't very high, which always means it's fun. They've got as a star player, they've got Wilfried Zaha, as you probably would know. You can have Maya, who's one of their best players that you can improve from 77 to 80, which isn't amazing. But then you've also got Milivojevic, who can go from just go up a couple ratings. But they've also got their own stadium in Selhurst Park, and they've got a decent club worth. So yeah, there's a lot of fun that you can do in that. But now we go on to Everton. This is the biggest club in this. So they've got a 38 million transfer budget, which is very nice for a club worth of almost 500,000. They've got higher kind of board expectations, but not too high, as in with the players you get, you could be able to do well with that. They've got Moise Kean, who can go from 76 to 89 rated, which is a very big upgrade. They've also got Richarlison, who can go from 80 to 86, and Digne, who can also go to from 83 to 86. And they have got their own ground in Goodison Park. But I think they're all the Premier League teams. If you want a challenge, go for Everton. If you want it a bit easier, probably go for Bournemouth or Crystal Palace. But now, if we go to the Championship, this is when you want a bit of a challenge, but not too much of a challenge. You want to get a team back to the Prem maybe. But with this first team, we've got Huddersfield. They've got basically a 10 million transfer budget, saying they're coming from the Prem. That means they've got that's a decent amount. Their club worth's 90,000, which is alright. They've all got pretty low stuff, just a domestic success, which could be a bit of a struggle. But they have also got their own ground in Kirklees Stadium, which I didn't know. They've got a couple of players here which could be boosted. They've got Bakuna, who's I think a centre mid, who can go from 71 to 81. They've got Chalobah, who's also a centre mid, who can go from 69 to 82. And they've got Grant, who can go from 73 to 81. In this kind of division, there can be larger upgrades in the Prem, because they're probably a bit younger. But so that's that team. Now we're moving on to Leeds. Leeds. Okay. Not many people like this club, but they do have good thing. They have a 15 million transfer budget. They really want to win the league, which is why they always sack their managers. Actually, no, they don't. They always keep their managers, but they're just known to not win the league. They actually don't have their own stadium. They've just got city leagues, which I think I don't know who they're sharing a stadium with, to be honest. But their club worth is 72,000, which is a bit less than Huddersfield, but it's still alright. Some players that can be boosted here. You've got Phillips, who can go from a 76 to an 82. You've got Roberts, who can go from a 70 to an 82. And you've got Shackleton, who can go from a 66 to an 81, which is quite nice, to be honest. And then the last team is Reading. Okay, they've got basically 8 million transfer budget at 28,000 club worth, which isn't too much, but it's not too bad. They've got pretty easy board expectations, just a youth development. They don't have their own ground either, so they've just got City, Reading. A couple of players here. They've got Rinnom Hotta, which I don't know if I've said right, to be honest, who can go from a 70 to an 82. They got Loader, who can go from a 63 to an 81, and they got Olise, who can go from a 61 to an 82, which is, I think, probably one of the best ones to use. If I was going to use any, I'd probably use Reading, and in the last one, if I was going to use any, I'd probably use Bournemouth. Yeah, I'd use Bournemouth. But now let's go on to League One. Okay, they've got who's the first one that's going to pop up? Coventry. Okay, they've got a 1.7 million transfer budget, which is quite nice for a League One team, but not too good either. This is like one of the harder ones, I think. They've got pretty hard board expectations, but I think doable. They don't have their own ground either. They've just got City, Coventry. A couple players that are good, that can be upgraded to be good over time, is McCallum, who can go from a 60 to a 78. A Hyam, I don't know if I've said that right, who can go from a 65 to a 75. And a big one here from Paga, I think I said that right, from a 55 to a 77. So that's a team to, like, that might be a bit of a challenge, but I mean, if you stick with them, they can have a good future. Now, who's the next one? Ipswich. Okay, so Ipswich really want to get promoted because they got relegated last season, but they've got a decent team. They've got a 2.5 million transfer budget with a club worth of, I've been saying thousands all these times. It's actually a 5.8 million. Just move all them to million. They've got they ain't got their own ground either, just City, Ipswich. Their most boosted players are quite interesting, actually. So they've got a guy called Downs, who can go from a 66 to an 81. They've got Dozzle, who can go from a 65 to an 81. And they've got Nydam, who can go from a 64 to a 79. And of course they are known as the Tractor Boys, if you were interested in that. And they're a 2-star rated team. I should probably have done the stars, but it don't really matter. Now we go Sunderland. Here we are. Okay, so here they have, if you want to go for like one of the easier, like easier games, in the way of like you can just get promoted straight away and then just work your way around Championship. So Sunderland has a 5 million transfer budget. They got their own ground and 11 million club worth, but they do definitely want to get promoted. But other than that, it's not too hard, the expectations. They're a 3.5-star team with a couple good players here. They've got Mamba, who can go from a 55 to a 78. They got Embleton, who can go from a 60 to a 76, and they got Gooch, who can go from a 68 to a 75. Okay, and that is all the League One teams. So yeah, if you want a challenge, go for Coventry. If you want it to be a bit easier, go for Sunderland. But now we go to League Two, which is probably the last one that I'm going to do. So we've got first one, we got Colchester. Okay, so not, some people are keen on this team, some aren't too keen. They've got a 1.15 million transfer budget, which is alright. That's actually pretty good for a League Two side. They got a 1.6 million club worth. Yep, they don't have their own stadium. I don't think any of the clubs that we're going to do have their own stadium in League Two. They've got pretty low board expectations, just a high youth development, which is fair. A couple of players here. They've got a guy called Senior, who can go from a 65 to a 75. They've got Stevenson, who can go from a 65 to a 73. And they've got Comley, who can go from a 65 to a 72 rated. And they are known as the U's. don't really know why. We've got a Red Devils here, not the Man United, but Crawley Town instead. They've got a basically 1 million transfer budget with a 1.5 million club worth. Don't have their own stadium, as you know. Very low board expectations, like very low. So if you want it to be, I think, a bit harder, you probably go for this team. But they've got a couple good players that can get boosted here. They got Lubala, who can go from a 65 to a 77. They got Sese, who can go from a 58 to a 72. And they got Grego Cox, who can go from a 62 to a 71. And then the last team that we're going to be doing, can you guess who? It is Scunthorpe United, and they've got a 1.5 million transfer budget with a 2.5 million club worth. Yet again, no ground, just in Scunthorpe. Pretty high domestic success, because I think they've always wanted to go back up to the top. So they used to be in the Championship a little while back. They've got, other than that, it's pretty low board expectations, but they've got a couple of players here. They've got McCarthy, I think, called, that can go from a 58 to a 73. They've got Badu, who can go from a 57 to a 72, and they got Makagi, who can go from a 65 to a 71. Don't know if I said that right, but yeah, these are all the different like leagues that we've done, and like all the English leagues, that's what the word was. If you want to see other ones, I've got a Bundesliga one, and I've got a just like rest of the world one from like Netherlands, just a bunch of random places really, Portugal I think. Yeah, but so if you do want to see this and you did enjoy, it's a bit different from what I normally do, a bit slower, just trying to see if anybody likes this, because I think it might be helpful for a few people. But yeah, hope you have enjoyed. As always, like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.